to the Schumer Siesta. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to Los Ungovernables. Wow, we're really trying too hard this morning. Welcome to Ungoverned here on a Wednesday, the first day of October, the second birthday of our cats, Betty and Tucker. As you can tell, oh, you're not on.
Oh,
now you're on.
Oh gosh, sorry.
Now you're on.
Happy birthday, Betty and Tucker boy.
I don't have headphones on today, so I can't hear what you sound like. But
I can listen.
Welcome to Ungoverned this morning. We are, I see everybody in the chat already loving the what do we call this? Not the
sombrero.
Decor. No, what do we call it? It's not a decor. What is this? The get up, the ensemble, right? We're going to do the show, I think, the whole thing, because the Democrats are very upset with the whole sombrero meme. So what am I going to do? If they're like, don't wear that, that's racist and bigoted. I'm like, all right, well, I'm putting a sombrero on tomorrow morning. So that is exactly what we have decided to do today. As you can see, I've got my Trump 2028 hat mounted right up on the top of the sombrero. And we're going to have a little fun today. They love the outfit. That's a good word. A good word for it. Yes, the get up. Right? All right, so here we are. I want to give a special shout out first and foremost to four people: Walter Kurt, Trash Discourse, Christopher Moreno, that's Christopher the Warrior, and Michael Thompson in Florida. Because last night when I was prepping the show and I was watching the new meme with the sombrero, that the Democrats were melting down over. We did a little fake Trump press conference yesterday in the space called The Political Theater. Trash Discourse, Walter Kurt, a fellow member of the Swatted, by the way, Walter Kurt, Chris the Warrior, Chris Moreno, and Michael Thompson, specifically those four, gave the inspiration last night through all that for this video this morning. And I promised those guys last night, I said, I'll make the video this morning. And got up, slugged down some coffee, and then put the, ensemble together, if you want to call it. You say, looking very, very good,
you
yes?
are looking as so
muy bien. Yes. And put this up. So I do have the video of Donald Trump welcoming the United States of America to the Schumer Siesta. Here you go.
Hola, mi fellow Americanos, y bienvenidos al cierre de Schumer. That means welcome to the Schumer Shutdown. We call it the Schumer Siesta, right? It's the Schumer Siesta. He put the government on siesta, crying Chuck. And El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries, we used to call him Dollar Store Obama, till we realized he's worth far less than $1. But they put the government on siesta to give illegal aliens your health care. We're not going to let it happen. I looked at both of them. I said, we're not going to let it happen. It's no bueno. I said, it's no bueno. They begged me. They said, but senor, por favor, please give illegal aliens the health care. I said, we're not going to do it. We're never going to do it. It's not going to happen. And they're also very upset about our big, beautiful sombreros. You look at them. These are the greatest sombreros the world has ever seen. We really have the best sombreros, and everybody wants one except Crying Chuck and El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries. They don't want one, but they're going to wear one when all is said and done. We're going to end the siesta. We're going to reopen the government, and we will not give in to the demands of Chuck and El Jefe. We're not going to do that. Thank you. God bless you. Dios lo bendiga, and God bless America. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
All right, there was the newest video of the Schumer Siesta. So there you have it. Schumer Siesta. It is all good and ready to go. All right, folks, before we get into all of our fun stuff, right? We have a lot of fun. We have to look, the government is shut down. It's obviously not the end of the world. We've been here before. And it's clear as day that the Democrats are the ones who are responsible for this. And I'm not the only one who is saying that. As a matter of fact, the New York Times. What? The who? The when? The New York Times is also saying that the Democrats are responsible, and many Americans, the majority of Americans, are not happy about it. So that is what we're going to get to a bunch today. We're going to have some fun with our sombrero as well, and at the Democrats' expense, with the memes from Poppy Trumpo and the Rican memes. They made those sombrero memes back-to-back days, and the second one, the one that came through last night that Trump reposted, I think was easily was the funniest one. But before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends at... That is OFPFarms.com. You know about them, OFP Farms. Explore the wonderful quality of Faith Farm and Freedom products with a special limited time 15% discount on your entire purchase. Go to OFPFarms.com. Look at the lineup from OFP Farms. They've got the El Revolucion, right? The Revolution soap. Okay, it smells great. It smells like a fiesta, not a siesta.
Everything is Spanish today.
We're going to do everything is Spanish today, right? Everything is Spanish. Take a look at it from the El Goat Milk. We love it. Famous for their natural ingredients, skin-loving perks of tallow and goat milk, and a big heart for farm-to-family skincare. Whether you're looking for gentle skincare or thoughtful gifts, these products bring together expert care and good values to make your daily routine that much better. Do not miss the chance to enjoy these premium products that support your health and ethical choices for the whole family at OFPFarms.com. It's OFPFarms.com. You see it on your screen. That is the website, OFP, Oscar Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean, SHAWN for 15% off of your entire purchase. That is OFP, Oscar Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com, OFPFarms.com, promo code Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November. I know there's a press conference to Mike Johnson. I'm not going to be able to bring that. I don't have that, the link or anything. This is a government shutdown. There's nothing groundbreaking about it. We've heard and we have seen government shutdowns before, but I want to get into the political ramifications. You know, the most important question is politically, who wins and who loses when we talk about government shutdowns. And in the past, when we had government shutdowns under Trump, that was the last time it happened, and that's what everyone wants to point out. The Republicans lost the messaging battle with the shutdown, even though it technically, wasn't only their fault, et cetera, et cetera. They lost the battle. So I'm trying to type and talk at the same time, and I'm having a very hard time doing it. Do I have that? There it is. Okay. This time around, the dynamic has absolutely changed. Okay? What has changed between 2018 and 2025, where the last government shutdown, I believe, was 2019? What has changed? The way information is shared has changed drastically. Okay, the mainstream media obviously does not have as much influence as it used to have. That's, I think, obvious, right? The mainstream media does not have as much influence as it used to have. As Jeremy says, the Democrats have been, where's that chat? Is it not popping up? No, it's not popping up. I got to fix that. As Jeremy said, the Democrats have been exposed. And, we always knew who they were. Oh, I see what I did here. We always knew who the Democrats were. But the normies, right? The malleable, moldable middle, okay? The normies are finding out themselves because of the way information has been or is being distributed now. Do we have a person in the chat who's being naughty?
I just took them out.
They're gone?
Yeah, they're really just being annoying. They're not really doing anything bad, but they did post a link, so I was like, oh, now I can just block them.
I got you. Gone. You're out. Get out. Afuera. Adios, amigo. But the main thing here is that the way information is shared, I want to go back. Let's go back to early 2024 or mid 2024. And this is when it really started to become evident that things have changed. Okay? Remember the bloodbath hoax?
Yeah.
Donald Trump said that there would be a bloodbath in the auto industry if he wasn't elected president. And the left went absolutely, he's calling for violence. It's ironic when you look at how they behave now with regards to violence and all that. It's ironic, isn't it? But you look at the bloodbath hoax and you think about, other hoaxes when it comes to things that Trump said or didn't say, et cetera, like the Fine People hoax. And they were able to gaslight and they were able to make Americans believe that Donald Trump did call neo-Nazis very fine people, right? And white supremacists, very fine people. Because the media said it. It went all over print media. It went all over mainstream media. It went all over social media. It was everywhere. You couldn't avoid it, so people believed it was true. It wouldn't, This is the whole so-and-so has so many followers and this has so many likes, therefore it must be true. Internet culture, which I hate. Just because somebody has millions of followers, they could be a loon like Candace Owens, right? So the point of the matter is always, fact check it yourself. But we know the truth is that Donald Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. And those of us in the 2017...
Jeremy sent you an email. He wants you to check the link.
Those of us... Is it the Johnson press conference?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Let me see.
Probably.
It's the Johnson press conference.
Okay.
All right, let's take a poll. Do we want to go to the Johnson press conference about the shutdown or no? Because I was not prepared for it. I could get it, but this will take a period of... You know what? Let's call an audible. We'll pop into the Johnson press conference. But I got to get it prepared. So we're gonna take an audible and we're gonna go to... This might not be long enough. It's CNN. Actually, let's go to this. Let's go to Trump talking about the shutdown. I got to go to a long clip so I could buy myself some time. Everyone, nobody wants to go to the Johnson. Okay. All right. Okay, fine. We won't.
Okay. Yeah, mostly is no.
Most people. Okay. We're seeing the whole chat is saying no. Some say yes. All right.
No, we only have one yes.
I've seen 3 or 4 yeses.
The same person over.
But most of them are no. But what we're going to do is we could pop in and out. Okay. It's mostly no. All right. We could try and pop in and out, but give me a second. Where was I now? These impromptu press conferences are crazy. What was I talking about?
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Do you want me to rewind?
No, you don't rewind. It's take too long. What was I saying? Okay, the whole chat they do not want to go to the Johnson press conference. Okay, fine. We won't. It's fine. We're good. I think we were talking about the way messaging was, the way information has been shared. So when we had the very fine people hoax, those of us back in the 2017, 2018 time frame.
Jeremy said you were talking about the Dems and how the differences between then and now.
Yes, that's what it was. The 2017 time frame where we were the very fine people hoax. We were out there leading the charge saying Donald Trump never called neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people, right? Never. That never happened. And it wasn't allowed, that message wasn't allowed to get out because we didn't have the reach. We didn't have the influence. LFA TV was not a network yet. X was not a free speech platform. And there's still, it's still very weird over there, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Facebook was banning people left and right. That has calmed down a little bit. YouTube, you couldn't do that. There was no Rumble. There was no Parler yet in 2018. There was nowhere for us to put information and get it out to the masses. Things have changed. The mainstream media has lost a ton of credibility. Not from their diehards. Well, but if they lost credibility, how come Rachel Maddow still has a show? Because she still has an audience. Because there is still a devoted segment of people who love what she has to say. They love what she has to say. They love how she acts. But it's shrinking more and more by the day. So if you remember the bloodbath hoax, that could have been another fine people hoax. That could have been another suckers and losers. Remember they said Donald Trump called veterans suckers and losers. He never did that, right? He never did that. So I want you to think about the difference between 2018, 2019, the dynamic, the way information was shared, and now. That is why what we're doing here on LFA TV is so important. That is why we ask you to share it. I'm not asking you to share streams and shows because Sean Farish wants the biggest audience, Jeremy Harrell wants the biggest, because we are making a difference, right? What did Bongino always used to say? Fall in love with outcomes, don't fall in love with politicians or people. Unless, of course, it's your spouse. Then by all means, fall in love with that person. But you know what I'm saying. Don't worship celebrities. Don't worship politicians. Don't worship your lawmakers. Don't worship your news anchors. Right? Instead, fall in love with and get addicted to the outcome. Get addicted to winning. Remember after the 2024 election, I came on and said, how good does this feel? And everyone's like, it feels great. Muy bien, right? It feels great. I said, don't you want to feel it again? The feeling of winning, coming out on top. Don't you want to get addicted to winning? Yeah, we do. And then, you see, and predictably, this is what happens. People eventually tune out and we go through the same cycle over and over and over again. Don't fall in love with the people, fall in love with outcomes. That's the point of the reason why I love having a show here on LFA TV is because we can make a difference. In real time, we can debunk and put a stop to the mainstream media gaslighting in front of a live audience that also wants to make a difference, that is making a difference. Remember in the 2024 election cycle, and I'm going to go all the way back to 2023 because I found a tweet of mine from August of 2023 that showed that Republicans and independents both gave Joe Biden a horrifically low approval rating. How many times do you remember me saying the Democrats are the outlier in this country? Remember that? I said that a bunch. I used to say that all the time. Why? Because they believe one thing and Republicans and independents believe something else, right? Independents and Republicans are on the same page. Well, let me show you this poll. This is, by the way, a New York Times Sierra poll. A New York Times Sierra poll. Sienna. I'm sorry, Sierra. Why did I say Sierra? A New York Times Sienna poll that shows that the Democrats and the Schumer shutdown, we're calling it the Schumer siesta, is wildly unpopular with the American people. Look at these poll results here. 65% of Americans, 65% of Americans do not want, or did not want before this was taken, did not want the Democrats to shut down the government if their demands are not met. The question was views on whether the Democrats should or should not shut down the government if their demands are not met. 27% of respondents said they should. 65% of respondents said they should not. Democrats, a plurality of Democrats, not a majority, 47% said they should. 43% said no, the rest are undecided. But look at independents and Republicans there. Only 32% of independents say Democrats should shut the government down, and only 5% of Republicans say the Democrats should shut the government down. Very significant that once again, Republicans and Democrats are on the same page, in the same place on a poll regarding this issue, and the Democrats are way out there on their own island believing something else. They are the outlier. 2024 proved that. And if polling like this does and follows the same trends that 2023 polling and 2024 polling followed, we will win the midterms. Again, of course, if everyone participates. But this idea of shutting the government down is wildly unpopular with the American people. And that's not because a government shutdown is necessarily this world-ending thing. But again, consider the source here. New York Times, Siena poll. Do they want to find this result? Do you think the New York Times and Siena wants to find this result? Of course not. Of course they don't. Right? They don't want to find that result that favors the Republican narrative. 47% of Democrats said they should. 43% said they should not. 5% said it was a good idea. 92% were against the move. The White House pointed to that survey, New York Times survey, comes as Democrats insist on shutting down the government over their $1.5 trillion demand to give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens. That's why we have the sombrero. So this is a very unpopular idea. And I want to show you, here's Donald Trump, by the way, talking about what he plans to do during the shutdown. So I'm going to play this. Then I'm going to play Schumer. Schumer had the nerve to criticize the New York Times Siena poll when it's basically his friends doing the polling. So we're going to get to those clips back to back. Take a look.
Yeah. What does it say about the state of the Democrat Party when they have a 33% favorability rating on average in recent months, and they're willing to shut down the government over healthcare?
They are shutting it down. We're not shutting it down. We don't want it to shut down because we have the greatest period of time ever. I told you, we have $17 trillion being invested. So the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that. But they want to have illegal aliens come into our country and get massive health care at the cost to everybody else, and we don't have it. And that's I would say, the number one reason that they want to strike is to get illegal immigrants health care. And, Gavin Newsom wants that, too, in California, and it's destroying California. We can't have that. We're not going to let it happen.
So what was essentially happening, Andrew Wilkow broke this down on his show yesterday. I love the Wilkow show. I listen every day. Are illegal aliens directly getting health care? Probably in some cases, the government funded health care. But in places like California and places like New York, there are essentially like parallel state-run Medicare, Medicaid, right? And what happens when those states burn through all of the allocated resources and money and funds to prop up those programs, what happens is they then start tapping into federal dollars, right? That would be the taxpayer $1.5 trillion that Donald Trump was talking about. Those federal dollars won't be there under the Republican plan, under the clean CR. They're going to be removing subsidies that were put in place during COVID and the pandemic. The pandemic is over. There's no reason for those subsidies to be in place. It's time to roll back that type of spending. Democrats don't want to roll back that spending because blue states that are spending money on illegals are going to have no federal taxpayer-funded safety net to dip into when their Medicare, Medicaid programs go dry because they're extending those benefits to illegals. Right? You see what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. It's not about giving Americans affordable health care. It's not about, you're taking health care away from American. No. Illegals who are receiving taxpayer-funded health care aren't going to get those benefits anymore because the funds are going to be gone, and the Democrats don't want to do that. Here's Chuck Schumer, because, again, the Democrats are not used to losing in the public eye. They're not used to having no control over the narrative. And now they have no control over the narrative because of people like us, LFA TV, people like you in the chat, folks who are all over X and Facebook and Truth Social and on Rumble and on YouTube and on Getter and everywhere you can possibly be, spreading this information and sharing it all over the place to destroy the Democrat narrative that, Republicans are in control of the government and it's shutting down. All right. Quick civics lesson for everybody who doesn't seem to understand how this works. In the House of Representatives, in order to pass legislation any legislation, but in order to pass legislation like this continuing resolution, this clean CR, All you need to get it out of the House is what? A majority, a simple majority. Half plus one. That's all you need. In the Senate, in order to pass this continuing resolution, you do not need just a simple majority. You need 60 votes, right? It's the filibuster threshold. 60 votes in order to pass this type of legislation in the Senate. Republicans currently control the majority of the Senate, but they only have 53 votes. So we're going to go a little slow because I know there are liberals that are probably watching. They're upset that I'm wearing a sombrero and a poncho. Patriot Takes is probably going to look at this guy. He wore a sombrero at Trump 2028. He's a threat to democracy. You need 60 votes to pass the continuing resolution in the Senate. Republicans have the majority, but only have 53 because there are 100 senators, okay? Brennan, what is a larger number? 60 or 53?
60.
60 is a larger number. Okay.
And I'm not even good at math.
60 is larger by a factor of 7 votes, right? By a margin of 7 votes. The latest, vote tally on the continuing resolution was 55-45. Okay, so even if all Republicans vote in favor, if all the Republicans vote in favor of the continuing resolution in the House, it can pass the House without Democrats. However, if all Republicans in the Senate vote in favor of passing the continuing resolution, it cannot pass without Democrats because that only leaves them with 53. They need 60. So there are Democrats that are needed to pass this. Republicans are all in. They're ready to pass it. It passed the House. It would pass the Senate with 7 more votes. But the Democrats aren't doing that. And the Democrats are relying on people not knowing how the system works in order to pass the blame here for the shutdown. You need 60 votes in the Senate. Republicans have 53. They cannot do this without Democrats. Now, if the Democrats had a reasonable demand, maybe there could be a compromise. But giving out illegal aliens, giving out healthcare to illegal aliens, taxpayer-funded healthcare, is not reasonable. Why are you shutting down the government of the United States of America to put illegal aliens first? Schumer is very unhappy that the Democrats are losing the messaging battle and the narrative battle, and that's due to people like us, you guys in the chat, LFA TV, everybody all over social media sharing the truth. Watch Schumer. He got booed off the floor of the Senate yesterday for this garbage. Watch this.
Now, I know the leader is going to show a poll that says that Democrats will be blamed for the shutdown. There are many more polls that show Republicans are blamed. The question in that poll is biased. Biased. In the New York Times, but it's biased. If you turn the... That's true. I don't always believe the New York Times. You can be sure of that. Neither do you. Okay.
You see that? The poll's biased, and everyone's like, oh, really, Chuck? The New York Times poll is biased. Yeah, you're right. It is biased. It's probably stacked even more in the direction of Americans not wanting the government to shut down. Really, Chuck? The New York Times poll is biased? Okay. No problem. The fact that you have a poll here that shows that Republicans and independents are on the same page and Democrats aren't, that trend spelled doom for them ahead of the 2024 election. And if this trend continues, midterms are going to be very interesting. When you factor in redistricting, and then when you just factor in this, the fact that the Democrats haven't learned a thing, it's going to get very interesting. All right. We got to take a quick break. Get to a message from our friends over at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Then we're going to laugh at Chuck Schumer and the whole sombrero gate that's been going on. The mainstream media they are actually covering this, giving it more attention, which to me, it is, why would you spend time on your shows if you're on the left covering this meme and making it into something. Like, nobody cares. We're laughing at it. It's a joke.
Well, but you're Spanish today, so it's a yoke.
It's el yoco. Ha.
They say J's like Y's.
It's el funio.
Don't they?
Yeah. J's like Y's and H's like Jose.
Yeah, and then when they laugh, they go like ja.
Yeah. All right.
in the text.
Here's a message from goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees, no pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
That's goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Golden Crest, for being a part of the show.
My favorite part of that is when he's dropping the coins.
When he's got the silver.
Because he like reaches around.
It's great. Like around the microphone.
I love a good
it's
sound.
Awesome. Yeah, that is a good sound. It was a good sound. By the way,
I'm a big fan of sounds.
Fun fact.
What?
Quarters and dimes that were minted in 1964 or before are nearly pure silver.
Oh, wow.
And so when you drop, if you drop a 1965 quarter, which has copper in it to lessen the value, because people were melting down those quarters into silver and basically destroying U.S. currency and making more money off of it and selling it, right? So if you drop a 1965 quarter on the ground, it makes a different ping than if you drop a 1964 quarter on the ground.
That's cool.
And that applies to quarters and dimes, not nickels. But it's and it may half dollars too and silver dollars. But yeah, that was a fun fact. I have a few.
That's
I have
fun.
a few.
I
So
like
90
that.
they were 90% silver or 80% silver.
Also,
but
everybody is very appreciative of your ears holding up your hat today.
Yeah, do you see these things? They're getting a workout. I've been doing a new fitness routine, right? Kettlebells and all this, but I haven't worked out my ears. They are holding up this entire big top right here. We're being propped up by my
hearing devices.
My satellite dishes here. I'm picking up good internet. All right. Quick word from our friends over at Silent. Then we'll laugh at the Democrats over the sombreros for a little bit, okay? It's Silent, slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, your phone is a tracking device. We all know it. Government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint. And they don't ask. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. Silencio! Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. This is the same technology that's trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and protect your digital footprint. All you got to do is drop your phone in a silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent, invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com/SHAWN to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is Silent, slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Go silent today at slnt.com. That's silent, slnt.com/Sean. Promo code SHAWN, 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. All right. Everyone's like, what's the deal with the sombrero? Sean, why are you still wearing the sombrero? Okay? Why? I'll tell you why. There were these memes that went out over the course of the last couple days. Donald Trump saw them on social media and then shared them to his social media. And because the Democrats are insisting on holding out for funding that would allow illegal aliens to receive health care benefits at the expense of the U.S. taxpayer, Donald Trump had these meme smiths, these memers, had a little fun with it. And Donald Trump thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, too. Everyone thought it was funny.
It was funny.
Here's the first one. And the whole shtick here is that they put Hakeem Jeffries, Dalisto. They put Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero, and people got very upset. Oh, that's racist. Watch.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
All right.
That music is nice. It really just makes you.
I like how it starts off with dan. Look.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Right. Not even black people.
So obviously it's AI of Chuck Schumer. Obviously that was not Hakeem Jeffries in an actual sombrero. But that didn't stop the left from being like, oh, it's a deep fake. It's a deep. Nope. Okay. What is, Brennan?
Yep.
What do you think the purpose of a deep fake video is?
To trick people.
To trick people. Right. Okay.
This isn't tricking no one.
Going on the assumption that a deep fake video is meant to trick people, right? Like, wow, did so-and-so really say that? Like when I do Trump's voice and people don't see it on screen and they hear me going, yes, the Schumer, yes, we're endorsed. The people are like, even our neighbor was like, what is Donald Trump talking about? And his parents were like, that's our neighbor, right? And we were talking to him. Like the idea, and I'm not trying to trick people.
No.
The idea of a deep fake, that's why I put my face on screen so everyone clearly sees it's not Trump,
right,
is to trick people into believing that something that didn't happen happened with the use of AI and deceptive editing, okay? So they're all like, oh, Donald Trump shared a deep fake video. This is not a deep fake video.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore.
This is what's known
as... We have no voters left.
A meme, okay? It is a joke. Yeah. It is something that is making up. That's not fooling. Nobody that I know that I've seen thought that was real. So therefore, there's no deep fake. There's, whoa, you pulled one over. It's a joke. This is why we say the left can't meme.
Yeah, they don't get jokes.
They don't get it. And they don't like jokes, obviously, at their expense. So what do? They point at the racist, right? Donald Trump is a bigot. Right? How dare he put a sombrero on Hakeem Jeffries and a mustache, and it wasn't really Chuck Schumer? Thanks, guys. Thank you for telling us that you have no idea about what a joke is. So yesterday, El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries decided he was going to do a media tour because he was offended and disgusted by this meme.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our...
Okay? If you guys can see Brennan, she keeps dancing like...
It really makes me want to get a little margarita, even though I don't drink, and a little burrito.
So Hakeem Jeffries went on an outrage tour on the mainstream media yesterday about that video. Why, as a Democrat, you would go on mainstream... This is why they're losing the media battle. This is why they're losing the messaging war. Because instead of focusing on trying to, get better field position on the political football field, right? Punt the ball back to Republicans and pin them inside the 20. Instead, what they're doing is they're bitching and moaning about a meme. Instead of trying to discuss, policy. And I know Trump's not discussing policy, but instead of trying to discuss the dynamics of the shutdown, which is what Republicans are doing. Hey, Democrats. So here's let's like the scales of justice here, right? You have the unbiased. So you have, on one hand, Republicans are throwing tons of evidence in, saying Democrats are holding out to put to get more funding so that illegal aliens can get health care. And you have all that over here weighing on the Republican side of the messaging battle. And then over here, you have the video is racist. Yeah, but what about the shutdown? No, don't worry about the shutdown. The president is racist. Yeah, but what about the shutdown? Is what they're saying true? It doesn't matter. They're racist. So one side, you at least have some sort of substance. The other side, you have nothing but fluff. So Jeffries went on this outrage tour in the mainstream media. And the Rican memes, and his handle is in the ticker above, made a 2.0 of the sombrero meme. This one, I believe, is even funnier than the first one. Watch this. This is what he goes on MSNBC, Jeffries, and he's like, this bigoted video, and then the Rican memes is just like, oh yeah, bigoted? How's this take?
Disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear, bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Guys, I'm telling you, I watched that about 20 times last night, and it just kept getting funnier. The fact that you have Jeffries...
video, and we're going to continue to make clear, bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Oh, man, that is too funny.
The only thing missing is that,
wait. Oh, yeah, she was wearing a Mexican hat. Wait. Hold on, here it is. Wait.
Everybody, ooh-hoo-ya. Ooh-hoo-ya.
Wait, everybody. Ooh-ya. Ooh.
Everybody, ooh-hoo-ya.
Look at this.
Ooh-hoo-ya.
All right, we can't go through too much of that. All right, that was the ooh-ya. Yeah, there we go. Ooh-ya. So this one is, obviously, Hakeem went on the outrage tour and somebody memed it. Last night, they're not learning their lesson. They never do. CNN did a whole thing about this. Oh, well, this was really disgusting and it's bigoted. I can't believe that. What? Why are you covering this on network television? Like, I know there's probably people who are like, all right, Sean, there's more important things to talk about than memes, but we have to have a little fun. I'm in a freaking sombrero this morning. I got to show the memes. Why are they? This is why they're losing. This is why we're winning. We're on our side having fun, right? I did the Schumer siesta video this morning, the Rican memes, Poppy Trumpo doing the sombrero memes, right? I'm doing my whole show in a Trump 2028 sombrero that I redneck together myself with this poncho. Think of it. Okay, we are having fun and messaging at the same time. I like to think of myself as a joyful warrior, right? That's us. We're joyful warriors, right? Phyllis Schlafly, we're joyful warriors. Seeing it, they cannot get past the fact that Donald Trump posted a meme. They have completely abandoned any substance arguments or anything about whose fault it is, and they're just focused on the video is mean, man. Hey, that might have worked in 2018. Because, again, the media had a lot of influence and people were like, oh, I got a racist president. Now people are like, guys, it's a freaking joke. Watch this from CNN.
You may have seen this. I mean, President Trump just moments ago posted pictures from your meeting in the Oval Office where he, I guess, apparently tried to hand you Trump 2028 hats. Then he posted another video, an AI video of you in a sombrero once again. This time he's in the background.
And she's, wait. I'm going to play the whole thing. And she's describing it. Then he posted a video. But just put yourselves in the minds of somebody independent. We think it's funny, right? We think it's funny. Put yourselves in the minds of somebody who is dead center. They have a sense of humor still. Maybe they don't like to make off-color jokes every now and again, but they hear those jokes in their head, but they won't say them because of fear, right? So take yourselves out of the shoes of a MAGA supporter for a second and put yourselves in the shoes of somebody who watches CNN. Maybe they have an open mind on everything and they are, center, maybe leaning left on some issues, maybe leaning right on some issues, okay? And just, if they're not watching the screen, just think about hearing the CNN host going, and then Donald Trump shared another video of you in a sombrero, and then there's a mariachi band. And that is hilarious and ridiculous. If I was sitting there in my eyes, I'd be like, what did he do? And they're showing it, and she's narrating it like it's a play-by-play of a football game. Drops back to pass. He looks left, throws left, caught on the sideline for the first down. She was given a play-by-play of the freaking meme. Here's the full video.
You may have seen this. I mean, President Trump just moments ago posted pictures from your meeting in the Oval Office where he, I guess, apparently tried to hand you Trump 2028 hats. Then he posted another video, an AI video of you
and they put
in a
AI generated on the top
once again. This time he's
as if people couldn't tell.
Trump 2028 hats. Then he posted another video, an AI video of you in a sombrero once again. This time he's in the background. You see it, the audience can see it there, as a mariachi band. I think the question I have for you is, do you think that this is even a White House, a president that cares to negotiate in good faith at all? Because it sounds like this meeting that you had this week has only resulted in trolling and not in any serious conversations.
What a moron. What an absolute... So she admits Trump is trolling. And yet, because you can't help it, you TDS-infected imbeciles over at CNN, you can't help it. You gave him what he wanted. You shared the meme. That's the point. The point of, and they're not listening, but the point of trolling, essentially, is it's almost like a psyop, right? In a good way. It's like, okay, they're gonna get fixated on the shiny object, which is the racist video. Oh, it's racist. While we're out there blaming them for the shutdown. This is masterful execution. And you know it. MSNBC this morning, you know it. They were outraged. CNN last night. And then he shared another video of you that was AI. Yeah, obviously, you dumbass. We didn't think Donald Trump cloned himself 3 times and he popped up behind Hakeem Jeffries in a mariachi band. Nobody is fooled by this. Oh, my gosh. One more time.
You may have seen this. I mean, President Trump just moments ago posted pictures from your meeting in the Oval Office where he, I guess, apparently tried to hand you Trump 2028 hats. Then he posted another video, an AI video of you in a sombrero once again. This time he's in the background. You see it, the audience can see it there, as a mariachi band.
Oh, you were wearing a sombrero again in this meme, and then there was a mariachi. You dummy. What? And they're not going to take their advice from me. They're not going to take any advice from me, so that's fine. But like, if you know it's trolling, because that's what she's saying, and she's asking Hakeem, do you think it's trolling? What else would it possibly be other than trolling? And yet you give it all of this oxygen. Like, why have I not mentioned Candace Owens this week? Because now I think there's a level of what she's doing that is actually trolling. In other words, she's engagement farming, and she's still farming for views, right? She knows what she's doing. She knows what buttons to push to get people to watch her show. I'm like, all right, you know what? I get it. Everyone knows that I think she's a lunatic. I'm moving on. Okay? Who does this really well? Who? Misfit. He's a master troll.
He's a good troller.
He's a master troll. He will post something knowing that somebody else will say something in reaction. I did this with a 28 hat. And I said, I got a liberal trolling device today. And people were like, you don't like the Constitution. And every person who did that, I was like, you have been successfully trolled. I said I was trolling, and you still took the bait. These people will never learn. And I guess that's a good thing for us. All right, quick break. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. You guys know we're always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. Well, I recently found out about this beautiful, look, 30% off offer on Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Colostrum can do all that and more for you. It's the first nutrition we receive in life, contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Specifically, Colostrum can help you reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. It can help fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism. It can help fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. You can harness the close-guarded secret of elite athletes, long prized for its unrivaled ability to take performance to its apex. Like Dylan Filion in Iowa, who plays a large amount of hockey, coaches hockey, works a couple jobs, and has glowing skin while running for office because he takes Armor Colostrum. Check it out at tryarmor.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor. 15% off of your first order, or there's also a 30% promotion going on right now, as you saw in the beginning of that message, at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. The Democrats have learned nothing, and I think this is a good thing. So the Democrat chair, the DNC chair, I think his name is Ken Martin, is his name, I think, has released a new platform. Okay, a new platform. Here it is. He was on Jamie Harrison's podcast, At Our Table. The argument, Democrats are, quote, following the guardrails of democracy, but Republicans are not. Quote, this is what Martin said. When we get into power next time, we damn well better make sure that D.C. is a state. What does that do? That gives Democrats 2 extra senators, right? Puerto Rico is a state. Now it's 4 extra senators. That we eliminate the filibuster. We get rid of all these antiquated rules that in the past made sense, but right now, with what we're dealing with in this country, we have a fascist regime. Okay. So now you actually have the chairman of the Democrat National Committee calling this administration fascist. In the wake of Charlie Kirk. Trying to destroy our democracy, we cannot abide by those rules anymore. We can't be the only party with one hand tied behind our back. When we get in power, and we will get in power, we're going to win in 26, we're going to win in 25, and when we're in power, we don't play by that antiquated playbook anymore. We go in there and do exactly what we want and what we said we were going to do to fight for people. So this guy openly admits, we're going even further on the extremist stuff. You're no longer making promises. We're going to make healthcare affordable. We're going to bring down the price of groceries. You're like, nope, we're going to abolish. We're going to destroy. They are running on destroying the filibuster. They are running on stacking the Senate. They are running on making Puerto Rico and D.C. a state. They're running on calling Republicans fascists. I mean, this is a train wreck for the Democrat Party. That is not what people want to hear. I don't know any Americans. You're in the grocery store and you're like, the price of beef is really high. Trump said he was going to fix it. What are the Democrats up to? We're going to end the filibuster. They're like, what the is the filibuster? What, you're going to make D.C. a state? How does that make my beef cheaper? The answer is it doesn't. Again, run on that message. By all means, run on that message. I am totally fine with that if you want to run on that message. Because that is not what anybody is looking for. You want housing to be more affordable? Yeah, I want housing to be more affordable. Well, the Democrats said they want to make Washington, D.C. a state. Oh, okay. I guess that's cool, but what about housing? I don't know. They're not addressing it. Trump wants interest rates to come down, right? So you could afford a mortgage, right? That's at least a step in the right direction. Democrats want to make Puerto Rico a state. Does that help your housing costs? No. Okay. So who are you voting for? They want to end the filibuster, which we do not want to end. Unbelievable. And yet believable. So they've learned nothing. They've doubled down and tripled down and quadrupled down on extremism. What do we have? 800?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, 850.
All right, 850. Here we go.
862.
Here's Mo. Little Mo, Mexican Mo. We gotta get a sombrero for Mo.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
here we go. Happy Wednesday. Amazing numbers today. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We appreciate it. Jeremy Harrell is coming up next with Live from America here on rumble.com/LFA TV. That is home base. That is the Cool Kids table. Before Jeremy comes on, I advise you to take a look at the LFA TV store. Go to lfatv.us, click on the store tab, scroll down, go to visit the store, and you will see everything that there is to offer at the LFA TV store. Sadly, I have to report that my sombrero did not come from the LFA TV store. This came from, I think it came from Party City. So did the poncho.
No, it came from...
Oh, south of the border. Yeah, when we moved Brennan up. Yes, we bought this at south of the border. The poncho, I think, maybe came from Party City.
Probably.
But, which is funny. They sell Mexican costumes. That's great. That's not racist, I guess. All right. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Head over to the LFA TV store. Again, you can see everything that there is to offer at the LFA TV store, lfatv.us or jeremyharrell.com/store. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Right now, we're off to be on with Michael Patrick Leahy in the Tennessee Bonus Hour from 11 to noon Central Time. Thank you again for watching and listening. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you on with Misfit later tonight. As far as I know, that is on. And we'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I've got a really fun guest. It is a funny interview. Audio is a little wonky. I'm going to try and clean it up as best as I can tonight, but you can still make out what he's saying. A great guest. You guys know him. You've heard of him. You've been familiar with him. Some of you have met him. We'll have a lot of fun tomorrow morning with this guest. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a great night, everybody. As John Fetterman says, good night, everyone. Bang, gavel. Muchas gracias. And thank you for your attention to this matter.